I met all the chief ministers. I caught a meeting of all the IT secretaries and IT ministers. The right of way was a problem. Now 90% of the states have agreed we need to give right of way. I told Chandrababu Naidu, please change your building bylaws. If you have a provision for power, for sewer, for rain, water, have a provision for broadband. He said, I'm going to do it. I met certain chief ministers. If you are making highway, ring road around the city, please ensure there is a proper hole or provision for broadband on both the sides. You need not dig it up again. Now these experiences are being replicated. I'm very happy to say that. Let's hope for the best.
Right. So since you said that you welcome feedback from industry, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to invite my panelists to, in 2 minutes each, please make specific recommendations from your respective industries that you would want the government to implement or look at.
So I think I must compliment the government on a grand vision, but I have 3 suggestions of the fact that you can connect 250,000 villages in 90 days, not in 3 years. If you intelligently use the satellite communication to reach it, the basis on which National Stock Exchange was formed, you can actually reach all the Gram Panchayat in 90 days' time at a cost of 1 lakh, including the solar panels and including the computers. So why wait for 3 years? And is investment in broadband to the villages at this juncture the most critical task which the government needs to do, where you can get faster return?
Satyan, I know that you are passionate about net neutrality, so what would you say to the minister on that?
I'll speak, I think there are many more experts who can speak about infrastructure and how to deploy this connectivity, so I won't speak on that. I think, just coming from the industries, the software, the digital company perspective, I think one of the things that we've seen happen around the world is that governments have done a great job laying the infrastructure, and entrepreneurs have done a great job building on top of it.
Right.
And I think the government doesn't need to build everything. They need to just lay the platform, because one of the beautiful things about the internet industry is that, whether for right or for wrong, the way the whole investment attitude comes is, if you solve a need, there is more than enough funding to see that through. It doesn't necessarily have to make profit from day one. It doesn't have to be a great business on day one. It's about solving a need. And I think what you'll find is that if the infrastructure gets laid, and it's an open, meritocratic infrastructure where thousands of entrepreneurs can compete and develop services, everything that you want, whether it be e-health, e-governance, e-entertainment, e-commerce, everything, it'll just happen.
Now, Jerome, you run a fairly big ISP back in the UK, and you acquiring companies in India. So what are the challenges you're facing as a foreign investor that you want to bring to the minister's attention?
Well, I'm an economist, and I have to agree with your assessment that the first role of government is to be an enabler, to enable the creativity of the foreign investor and the domestic investor. And I think, I've invested in many countries all over the world in emerging markets, and it's often the case that there's this tension between, domestic and foreign. Foreign investors are sometimes seen, as warily. And I think the best foreign investment, of course, is long-term, committed foreign investment. And capital controls are very often attracting the very wrong sort of capital, the very sort of hedge fundy capital. And what you really want is big committed capital. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I've spent 20 years being bullish about emerging markets. I'm absolutely dead keen on India.
First and foremost to Jerome, when we say make in India, it is equally available to foreign companies. Come establish a base in India, manufacture in India, manufacture for India, and also export outside. Okay. Use the enormous talent of Indian human resource. And for that, you will be treated as an Indian company, entitled to all the benefits of an Indian company, and also entitled to all the benefit of exports for an Indian company. But most important, I will end with an appeal to all of you. I have asked my personal staff to work on that. What is my sign of digital empowerment? My sign of digital empowerment, ladies and gentlemen, is that in a Dalit village, a Dalit woman, digitally trained, is running a common service center and delivering digital services. That will be the ultimate benchmark for me.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.